Ready to be outdriven. I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living. If you want that money, be double out. And if you want that trophy, take double out. And if you wanna be a winner, be double out. And if you wanna be a champ, take double out. Be double out, take double out. Be double out.
What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00TAKE00 show. I am your co-host, PJ North, and I'm here with the one and only Fluff. Tebow.
What's going on?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Excited to do this again.
Hey, I can't believe we made it. Can you?
Oh God.
Oh no. God, it's already started. He's got the chat bleachers live back there.
Oh yeah. Ellsworth's already at it.
Oh, old E double over there. Double E. You know, Ellsworth. Put it in the chat so I know you're there. Shout out to the guys. If you're in the chat, let us know that you're here because I can only see views. I can't tell who's here. So let us know. Thanks for coming back, man. If you guys haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the video. That helps us out, obviously, here on the YouTube. It's a big thing, man. We gained over 150 subscribers after the first episode, which I love. I appreciate that. That's a big news for us because as I've been doing my wrestling podcast for over a year now, and no one cares except for me. So that's really all that matters.
Dude, that's really the reason that you do it, though, right? Like, that's why I do it.
I'm 1,000%. I just love pro wrestling and talking about pro wrestling. So, and I love drag racing, so this gives us a chance. Oh, YouTube is not responding. I don't know if I believe that, but let me see what's going on here. Maybe make sure before we go too far into this. What the heck? Is it not live? Hold on here. Sorry, guys. Before we go too far into this, and I don't. Okay, now it's working there. All right, I got the chat here.
We are struggling on the technical.
It's a whole thing, man. When we're it's a little bit harder for me when we're apart because I can't manage your thing and mine, and I'm still getting used to the live stream. Because on Twitch with my wrestling cast, like people join, I don't be knowing because nobody comments ever, and there's like certain rules you have to follow. You have to be like following that person for 10 minutes, and then you have to it's crazy. So I was like, I'm not used to everything going on, but we're back. The screen is working. So. Again, hit that like and subscribe button here on YouTube, the BE00TAKE00 show. If you're listening live on Spotify or iTunes, Apple, all that stuff, thank you guys. Don't forget to leave us a review there. That helps us out too. You can also follow us on the pod. On Spotify, the videos on Spotify, so that's cool too. If you're just listening on Apple, let us know. And then obviously tag us in your stuff, PJ North, the PJ North on Instagram and Facebook and all those things. Tyler as well, Tyler3678 on the IG. If you're listening and you dig it, we appreciate it.
I'm glad you knew that. Because I didn't know that.
I'm here, baby. I got you.
Did you do anything cool this week?
Yeah, I guess I did something cool. I did. I got engaged over the weekend before the practice tree race. She told me she did not want to get engaged at a racetrack. She would be embarrassed. And she's not great with like big groups of people staring at her. So I was like, all right, I'll do it before the practice tree race. So, yeah, man, shout out to my lovely fiance Casey, who said yes. So we're excited about it, man. It's been a really good. Obviously, we're kind of a partnership with it. So we picked out the ring, and we've been planning all these things, and so yeah, it should be a good year. 2025 on the way up. All those things. 125 is when we got engaged. So she's big on numbers, so I try to keep that in consideration.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, man.
What about are you ready to go to the Florida?
I'm glad you asked because I am almost ready to go to Florida. I've got to get my tires mounted this week. And I think that's it really for me. I think I got to get my tires mounted and then swap cars. See, that's the big thing for me because my situation here to move cars around is not ideal. So hopefully tomorrow, I guess I'll get the tires mounted and put those back on. My big thing also is the trailer is my trailer, the front paneling it's an old Hallmark, and there's just none of the screws have stayed in there, and the wood's kind of on the inside too has gotten some condensation. So Kenny and Terry Nolan came over to help me with my motor 2 weeks ago, and they were like, we figured out how to fix your trailer. I'm like, I'm all ears. You should rivet it. So I'm going to try that with some gasket maker and rivets to see if I can get it's just the very front burst panel thing, or the
How many rivets? How many rivets do you have to do?
I don't know, probably 10.
Okay, that's not bad. I can just imagine you going down the side of a trailer with a rivet gun by hand.
Oh yeah, it
like
is by hand.
8,700 of them.
No, it's just it's maybe 20 because it's just the front. There's two, right? There's one that it's the very front panel there's the 2 rounded ones, right, on each side of the front corner, and then there's that one in the middle of the front. So I'm gonna try it and see, at least get 5 in there. I'm gonna start at the top and then maybe at the bottom, so that way if I get tired, at least I have some of it done. We'll see what happens, man.
I saw Paul Schuster say 10 cuss words in 2.7 seconds over that exact panel on a trailer.
I'm not super excited about it, but I do have a lot of stuff to get ready this week, and it's nice outside, so I feel like if I get it done this week, I'll be ready and I'll feel prepared. Hopefully my fuel delivery guy will bring some F8 to Florida, because I got 1 pail that'll get me through qualifying. I think I don't really use that much, man. My car's slow, so I don't have to really worry about that. Are you ready for Florida?
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Let's hold on, because 20 minutes ago he's like, I'm gonna tell the story on the pod, because I haven't heard it yet. So are you ready for Florida? Let's start there.
Okay, so here's the deal. I decided to run 2 cars.
Yep.
I decided to haul a car for somebody.
Love it.
And we got Josh, and I've got to get Chris's toter and stacker down there.
Okay.
So now we have to get 6 race cars, and there's 2 of us.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're gonna. So far.
Wait, what else is Decker taking?
All right. So we got my car, Leonard's car, Chris's car.
Oh, Leonard's entered.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
I didn't know Leonard was entered. What is he entered in?
Stock in his Firebird.
Oh, in the Fire. They still have. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he got it back. So let's see. So I got to figure that out. I've got everything but getting 1 ramp truck with 1 car on it down. I think I'm close. Okay. Worst case, you'll have to come to Louisville, get my ramp truck, hook it to your trailer, and go.
I can do that. Hey, that would help me out, man, a ton.
Honestly, if it helps you, you might as well just
that would help me out a ton.
My 3rd gen, I pulled the motor out of it yesterday. We're going to change cylinder heads tomorrow. Load it back up.
Man, if I had to change a cylinder head today, I would be in bad, rough shape, dog.
Yeah, me too.
So Taylor got the other stuff ready? He's ready with the heads to go?
Well, the rocker arms are supposed to deliver on Thursday.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, that's I'm going to check. I had some sound problems getting started, guys, so I'm double checking every time I hear something.
No, you're good. You're good on my end. Also, let us know in the chat if we're not loud enough. That was a big thing. We'll talk about last week's feedback, but that was one of the feedback was the sound thing. We're working on it. It's a learning curve.
It's me. I'm too stupid. 100%. So yeah. So the 3rd gen, I pulled the motor out. Josh and I pulled the motor out to go to the engine shop, turn around in a couple days, even though it's been sitting with the motor in it since October.
Right. Yeah, but last time it was out, didn't it break something?
Yeah. Just the transmission.
Oh, the transmission.
Motor was good.
Okay. All right. I couldn't remember what Jimbo broke last time.
So it's been so bad. Bad luck, really, I guess. And this is a problem with having too many race cars. Okay. This is
first world problems, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Well, they're not mine. I just drive.
Yeah.
So we thought that we put the good top end in the motor to be able to turn it a little more RPM.
Sure.
Like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so I was dropping the hammer on it.
Right.
And it wasn't okay to do.
Oh, bad LS parts there.
Yeah. So 9 runs, I dropped 2 valves and smoked 2 transmissions. I don't know why I smoked transmissions, but the valves, I know why.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's the whole story on the 3rd gen.
Okay.
Thinking it's going to be ready. I have to have all of these cars at Hardinsburg on Sunday to test.
I thought you said Monday we were testing.
Sunday and Monday.
Okay, got it.
Probably just Monday at this point.
Sure.
Because my car has no motor. Leonard's car's motor, I think, came off the dyno this morning. Chris picked his car up from the damn body shop last night.
Okay. It looks good though. I mean, I can't wait for y'all to see that thing. Whew. Zaddy. Yep.
The car that I'm pulling, or the car that I'm taking down for somebody, they put Leonard's motor on the dyno when they pulled his off. Josh's transmission is in Eastern Pennsylvania.
I didn't know that. So he
on
had
Thursday.
Look, it's getting bad when Tyler asked me for a transmission. She's like, "Hey, you didn't happen to have a spare, did you?" I'm like, "Do I look like the type of guy that's got a spare, dog? Come on."
I just went straight to you, and we're gonna just see what happens. So yeah,
okay,
it's bad.
So wait, so that's 5. So you got Leonard, Chris, Josh, 2 for you. That's 5. Who's the 6th car?
So the 6th one, let's see, Leonard, Chris, me, Josh. So I've got Randy Wilkes is the car I'm taking down.
You're taking the Firebird down.
Yes, because it's in Ohio where they freshened everything. And then so if he might be listening to this, I haven't asked him yet, but if you couldn't take the car, I was going to ask Logan. I think Logan's stuff's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
gotcha.
6, 7, I don't know. I'm lost.
He's taking a lot of cars, man. Okay. So that's man, Bradenton, we're excited. Next week's going to be, I guess we'll probably have the episode next week, but it'll be short because we're getting ready to leave the next day. It's a lot going on.
Oh, I'll be there, buddy. We'll be.
Oh, you'll already be in Bradenton.
Chris called me on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And he said, so here's the deal. I'm not coming home from Florida.
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was last week.
Yeah. He said, I'm not coming home. Hey, I need you to get my car here, but I'm not coming home.
Yeah. Like, I was already planning on taking it, but
but you thought he would be here to help.
Well, I thought that he would have, I thought his stuff would be ready. Now, I don't have to work on it yet.
Okay.
Except his trailer. So this is another thing. So I'm weird about trailers. When I go racing, whatever I'm racing out of, it has to be organized. The race car can be blowed up with peeling it off the wall.
I do agree
outside.
with you that you do have organization in the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer's got to be perfect.
Okay.
So I'm I'm gonna go over there and check this thing out. I'm gonna reorganize it. It's a big ass liftgate trailer.
Right.
I'm just gonna make sure. I'm gonna put some of my parts in there. And
sure.
He's been no prep racing for 5 years.
Oh no.
There's more tire tubes and stripper glitter, and I broke the handle off my door because I locked myself out, and now the door I thought it was opening. My bad.
That's incredible. He's got ghosts in this place now. He is all over the place. Man, it's a tough week for
shit show.
Hey man, if anybody's looking to help out Tyler Bohannon over there in Louisville and US 60 over there at Hardensburg's trying to get the cars together, help a brother out, man.
I do have to shout Josh out. If it wasn't for Josh right now, good luck down there, PJ.
Hey, I'd be calling you every round. Hey, what do we think here?
I'd probably have a lot more money, but I would fly down there to hang out with you because I would have the money to do so.
Man, shout out to Decker. My hope is that y'all make it down there.
I lost my credit card in the Wendy's the other day. I've been checking it. They ain't spent no money, so I ain't locked it up yet because that's the last thing I got right now. It's February, dog. We out. It's gone.
It's hard out here. It's hard out here for a pimp.
So I got to go to Wendy's to get my credit card back before I leave.
Man, Tyler's going through it right now. I hope everybody that has joined, shout out to Shift Point Media and Plan B, man. Thanks for joining us in the chat, too. If you guys are watching, don't forget to chat us up. Let us know in the chat bleachers. But somebody need help. Normally, I'm the wreck. Normally, I'm like, hey, man, my shit might run. I don't know. I'm trying to get it together. Tyler's like, we got options. And now I'm in the lead. So, Bradenton's coming up quick, by God.
Today, just because nothing's done, we didn't have nothing to do. I've got 6 race cars.
Oh, but nothing's
5
done.
of which don't run. But I just went to my shop over there.
Yeah.
We started organizing stuff and putting lights up.
So wait, which car are you? Which car is ready? The Wilkes' Firebird that you're taking?
So I'm gonna drive Alvy's Firebird.
That's what I thought. But you're not taking that one down
there. So that's the one that is gonna be on the truck ready to go.
Got it.
Hopefully somebody takes it. I guess my dad will probably get in it if it's still there.
Okay.
But Cody texted me today. He's polishing the wheels. He's buffing it. Gonna have it ready to go tomorrow for me.
I love that. Shout out to the Alvies, man. All right. Well, next week obviously we're gonna be full in Bradenton mode, so we're gonna be talking about game plans next week about what we're gonna do, and if anything crazy happens, obviously. I do want to talk about feedback from last show. Obviously, we got a ton of views, which thank you guys if you're watching or listening, man. It's crazy to think that people want to listen to me and Tyler obviously ramble. We do talk a lot about racing every day, so we thought, why not do this? And so far, it's gone so well. So thank you. We did get some feedback. First feedback, obviously, was the loudness or the vocals, working on that. If you're watching this after the fact and you still can't hear it, turn it up because I'm definitely putting it on like a standardized volume when I post it after the show. And if you can't hear it now, if there's issues, let me know in the chat because like I said, we can fix that as we're recording. But Other feedback that I got, and then I'm going to let you talk about feedback you got. Other feedback I got, shout out to Austin Richardson, man. He came up and he was just like, y'all just made that list because y'all wanted people to talk, right? And I was like, well, no, we it was very specific. It was a preseason top 25 of racers across the sport. And that's the big thing, man. I think a lot of people took what we were saying is like, we think these are the best racers, this, that, and the other. It's not that. This was a preseason based on results from last season, not 25 best of all time, not who are the best drivers out there. However, it did get people talking, so obviously it worked. But yeah, man, we took drivers from each kind of segment of the drag racing that we follow and then ranked them against each other. And there's only so many bracket racers we can put on a list of 25 when you got pros and you've got class racers and you've got super stock racers and 90, all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that because we did enjoy the conversation that was had, and I enjoyed the feedback that we got to about it because we do love people hearing that. Obviously, I think one of the things was, I can't believe Nasty Nick's not on the list, but he was an honorable mention. So if you guys were listening, we do appreciate that. That was the big feedback I got. What about you? What was the feedback you got?
Same thing, I don't know why, but like a lot of times, I guess because I'm shy as shit in reality.
Yeah.
People don't want to believe that. But like, a lot of people are going to tell me nice things most of the time, right? Like even if they don't even if they don't believe it, like they're going to tell me good job.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey man, sometimes you got to have that pat on the back. I've been lied to. Look, in Nashville, everyone's like, oh man, this song sounds so good. I'm like, really? Why didn't you stream it 100 times? Huh? Why didn't you? Why hasn't this been streamed? You know what I'm saying? So I get it, dude. It's like, I do appreciate the niceties though, man. It does mean, it is nice to hear.
Sure. And a lot of them were at the practice tree race and said some good things. The volume, I still don't believe that the problem is me. I don't talk at the same volume for more than 2 seconds.
None of us do. I'm yelling half the time of my life.
Well, I don't know how to use this thing. I don't know how to use these things. We have to get on 30 minutes early because it takes me 22 minutes to get him to hear me and me to hear him through these things.
That's good shit. Okay, that's good. So you got decent feedback.
It was good.
Anybody say anything negative, like super negative to you?
No, and really, I didn't get a lot on the top 25 list.
Yeah,
because
that's because they were messaging you during the show.
Well,
Everybody that was going to say anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
JP gave up. I didn't tell him.
Yeah,
but he's keeping quiet tonight. He must have heard that I was going to make a laughing stock out of him on here every week if he didn't leave me alone.
That's incredible. What's so funny is that we went to that practice tree race and the car that was hanging from the thing. Did you see the bumper sticker that was on it?
I don't guess so.
No, it said Schuster and Wiley. And I was like, damn, I can't. We can't get away from JP as far as we go.
No.
I thought that was interesting. So I know, obviously, I am seeing now what the issue is. I see, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I apologize. For some odd reason, YouTube's being lame. And I had this issue last week when I was uploading the video, is that it was taking crazy. So if it does cut in and out and it's not super live, I promise you it's not our connection. Because our connection is incredible, and I'm recording it, and there's been no lag. So I do apologize if you are watching, and it's not working at a correct rate. I have no idea why it's not interacting, but I'll figure that out for next week. But obviously, we'll get it posted anyway. Yeah, man. I think the feedback too. I think we're excited about where it's going. We're excited to talk about all year different stuff, especially as the season starts to kick off. Right now, all we're seeing is no prep and. Yeah, or not no prep, a pro mod, and obviously sick week, which we'll talk a little bit about here shortly. But yeah, man, I'm excited to hear it. So hopefully we'll get some feedback, and hopefully I got a few haters out there. I mean, I'm used to it. I've been saying terrible things about people all the time on the microphone, so I'm not super worried about it. But we'll see how that goes.
Your Kai Kelly pick didn't look too bad this weekend.
Oh, man, first one. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the pro mod this past weekend. I think. So I'm interested because I don't understand the concept of like 270. I don't know any of the 275 racers, and I know some of those pro mod ones that they did, obviously 8th Mile Pro Mod. But I did see obviously all the coverage on Kai Kelly and Stevie Fast. Like that was a big deal. And I didn't quite understand what was happening with that. I was like, oh, I didn't know that they didn't either like each other or something was transpiring or something I didn't really understand, but it was cool when he won. I was like, sick, he won. All right, next round. He didn't end up winning the race. Ken Cortaccio or whatever, right? He ended up winning.
Yeah, I'm trying to
in
think
the
of how they say
Camaro.
his name.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I already forgot.
It's Corta. I don't even know. Is it
Curtuccio? I think it's
Curtuccio?
Curtuccio.
That's it. Yeah, Curtuccio. Okay, got it.
So the Pro Mod, like the 275 guys, I have an idea of just because we had some of that at US 60 this year, and I really kind of got into it and paid attention.
Yeah.
But the Pro Mod stuff, like I recognize the names,
Yeah.
but I don't know who should. Like I guess I don't. I know who should be in the end, and they haven't been.
Right.
So like learning how, and then you see like how tight the fields are, and it's really cool to somebody like me, I guess, who knows enough about Pro Mod to be as entertained as I am, but
yeah,
I'm learning so much too, I guess. Like it was cool, and I know a lot. Like I appreciate the way that Lyle's done it, and him having a good weekend. I know that's a big deal for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Lyle was really, he obviously continues to crush and do a good job too as well. So it's like that's kind of interesting to see. Give me 1 second here before we go too far. Let me see what's going on with my open studio here. I don't know what's happening. I apologize, everyone in the chat, if you are watching. I don't know why it's being weird. Stream not receiving enough video to maintain smoothly. I don't believe it. That is super weird. Either way, we're going to continue on, and we will post the video afterwards. I know it's going to be weird if you are watching, so apologize. I'll get that fixed. I don't know what's going on.
The thing that, like, I was trying to talk to my dad about it, but he was deep on TikTok, so he gave zero shit about what I was saying. So Mark Mickey has it, like,
he's in the blue car, right? The blue Camaro?
Yeah, and he qualified number one. I know he did this one. I think he did the last one too.
Okay.
And it's not like he's like, he can stay 100th in front of him, I guess.
Yeah.
And he has him 7 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll tell you, it's a turbo car. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, because I can't hear that good. I can see the TV.
Right.
Chargers and turbos to me, but the cars look the same now. Pretty sure it's a turbo car, but he built transmissions, right? Like really high dollar shit.
Right.
I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna take a guess here. I don't know if anybody knows anything that's listening to this, but I would like to know. I'm assuming that he's figured out something in a lockup or something that's just better than everybody else.
Yeah, but how come he didn't win?
Well, I mean, you still got to drive.
Oh, well, that's fair. Okay.
I think he lost the round. There was a round in there, wasn't there, where like everybody was struggling to get down? Maybe that was the round.
Oh, that may have been why. Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Oh, black eye speeding.
That's right. Okay, that's right.
Did you see the license plate on that?
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed the fact that Antron and Erica and all these other folks are jumping in cars and doing this. Like I said, I said this last week. I'll buy anything that Wes Buck is selling. I think that he is the Barnum and Bailey of this whole thing, right? I've said that about Bill Bader. If you've ever talked to me, I've always felt that way about Bill. Like, they get it. They get what sells tickets, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I think Wes is taking Bill Bader's motto, and using it to the fullest extent of what he meant by it, which was we're in the entertainment business, not the drag racing business.
Yeah, and you kind of have to look at it that way. I feel like a little bit, right?
It changed what I was doing, right? Like when I heard that, when I heard him say it the first time, it changed my outlook into where before I started promoting and running a racetrack, like where I just thought about going to the racetrack and in a race car and going. When he said it like that, like teenage me was like, that would be fun, like I enjoy. Like now I can go into it with something that I enjoy doing instead of just putting on a drag race. I can, I'm trying to entertain 1,000 people or 30,000 people, whatever it is.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that goes into a lot of it. Is like we've talked about, as I worked at a racetrack with my father, and I used to make this joke to my dad, is that he got the drag racing factor of it, but he didn't get the entertainment part of but he tried a lot of things to try to get entertainment value out of it. But man, it is really hard to capture people's attention when you have so much downtime in between a run. and you don't have an announcer that's like over the top, and you don't have stuff going on, and it is a lot. And especially now, like everything is attention span for a lot of people is so short that it's like you have to do a lot to get those people. And I think obviously Garrett or Cletus, Garrett Mitchell gets it down there too, and Vic gets it because he's done a great job, and Wes gets it. And
Vic, just sorry to interrupt you, but Vic, like I've heard people talking about him for a couple of years, and I honestly didn't know the guy.
Sure.
Didn't even know what he looked like.
Right.
Like when people talked about Vic, I just assumed it was another, track owner guy, old retired guy that owns a racetrack because he wants to, right? Like that's what I assumed. And when I saw him on a podcast, and it was in the commercials last week with Wes when they had Wes on the commercials, and I was watching it, and I was like, once I figured out who it was, and then listened to it, like he's intelligent about the business, the business of drag racing. And,
he gets that part of it,
and entertaining. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing for, I mean, you get it now too, right? Running a racetrack, you understand, like, look at all the different events that you guys have had to try to get that to work. And I think that goes into it. A lot of it is, like I said, it's just like, it's so much that happens. And so I think that they're doing a good job with that. All that to say with the Pro Mod thing, it's interesting. They had all those other events, and shout out to Ken for winning. That puts him, maybe he's going to switch with Kai now because he's moved up. If we had top 25 today, he would move into Kai's spot as top Pro Mod.
And it's funny. I'm trying really really hard to like get better at this as we go. Right. Yeah. Like this is new for me.
Sure.
But I caught myself the other night when I was watching. Me and Josh were sitting there watching the finals and stuff. And like when he won, I was like, damn, he ran it up to the first one. Like that's gonna put him in the top 25. And I was like, I've never, like I would have just blown that.
I'm in the same boat, man. I start to think about stuff like that and how it impacts the conversation. And I've thought a lot about that. That goes back to us, like how do we leave the sport better and things like that. It goes into all this. You start to think a little differently from like a different perspective on the sport, which is cool.
And that's how, like, it's funny you bring that up because like for 5 years now, the way that I approach going racing, not just going to promote a race, but just racing in general is different. When I pull up to the ready line, or I got some guy, come on, pull forward. Like how I start my shit, and I pull forward even if it's 6 inches. Like, because I just think the first thing I think about is what those, I know what that guy's doing.
I used to get I used to laugh all the time about it at NHRA, right? You know how it is, man. Shout out to Danny Estep, man. I watched. I'll never forget this at BG, man. He is I thought him and Ryan Haig was about to go hand for hand. I was like, it's about to go down. And I get it though, right? You start to think it's like they're doing their job and they're getting paid less than minimum wage. It feels like for them to do that. So I'm like, damn, I get it, dude. It's super tough. And like you said, you think about those, like all of that stuff goes into it. And I've thought about that since my dad ran a racetrack and I worked for him. That's kind of what we thought about is like, you have a new appreciation for certain things, like get into the lanes and I know, look, man, I'm the worst. Cause I'm out there making a joke all the time. Like if these don't show up, like I'll run without them. I don't care. I'll skip right over. I do not care. And, you think, but like a lot of racers right there, obviously not thinking they're doing their thing and they're in their zone and but it is what it is. Outside of that down there, while we're talking about Pro Mod, they got Sick Week. What are your thoughts on Sick Week?
I've been trying to go for 3 years, but JP keeps, not getting anything done. But now I guess it's on me actually.
Yeah. There's a new car down there, huh?
Yeah. So we got to do the body work on his Acadian.
Yep.
Because, he apparently can't do it. I guess he's never done any body work.
Sure. Lies.
Yeah. So, but it's super cool to me.
Yeah.
And they could take the racing out of it. Honestly.
Sure.
I just think
I think it would be even cooler if they actually raced. Like they had like a full on race where it's like you got classified and then you had to run maybe like a 3-round deal, or maybe each track had different. I don't know, because I get it, right? The drive, and I think it's a very cool thing. Matt Forbes told me a lot about it when he was doing it with the Camaro, right? Him and Brandon, and then obviously JP had that Nova, right? The Ford, was it the 4-door car?
It was the 60 Ooh, he's gonna get mad at me. It was a 67.
Okay, but it was blue, right, with a black top? No.
Yep. I drove
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I drove it at the 20 granders at Pittsburgh one year,
Sick. So yeah,
and
like that's a cool
he
deal.
went 0 for 4, and I won second round in the Chevy 2.
Hell
And
yeah.
I went to the logbook and logged my run, and when I walked back out, the Chevy 2 was gone. He had went 2 sheets to get him and like 3 other people to get beer. Drove back as they were calling third round. He gets out. 4 people get out of my race car, each with a case of beer, and I got in my race car and went to the lanes for third round.
You're just not going to hear that anywhere else. I don't know if you guys get it. Like, I just don't think you understand what Tyler has done in racing. It's just little gems like that. But yeah, man, the sick week thing I think is really cool. I like I said, it's very interesting to me. I saw John Long. Me and him are friends on Facebook. I don't really know John, but I saw that he was down there with the little. I think they have like a Pinto or a Chevette or something. It might be a Star. I don't know. They all look the same. But I thought that was a neat thing, man. I know a buddy of mine, Corey Butcher's down there with his wife. They're driving and drag. It's a neat deal, man. And I think that's like anything more to get people interested in it, and different aspects of it is always good. So
we got a guy like, and he probably won't see this unless my sister or somebody shows him. But
Sure.
We've got a kid here in town that actually I went to youth group in church with when I was 6 years old, and we went to school together and stuff. And they were like hot rod people and kind of messed around with racing. And he finally like dove off the deep end and started racing like some of the no prep stuff around here.
Sure.
Alan Thompson is his name. Great kid. And so he did that, and he wrecked. He went for a while, and he had a crash, and they fixed it, and he had a parts failure like pretty soon thereafter, and like blew it up, and then they fixed the motor, and the thing blows up again and crashed. Like he crashes it again like 3 times in 3 months.
Sure.
And I was talking to him. I'm like, dude, like even he knows how I feel. Like the no prep stuff, like tear him up.
Yeah.
I tear up bracket cars, buddy. I definitely don't feel bad for you for that. But
right.
I told him, I said, bud, this is bad luck,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I said, the only thing you can do is go right back out to the shop and hack that son bitch back apart and go again.
That's really all you can do.
Yeah. He said, man, like it's just tapped me out. He said financially. I'm like, dude, I get it. I said, and my dad, like I was talking to my dad, and he was like, he called his dad, and I called him back, and I said, look, if you talking to somebody who has spent every dollar he's ever had on drag racing.
Yep.
So I'm not telling you that I can help you that way, but like I've got 30 years of spare parts.
Sure.
Like
whatever we can do to help out. Yeah.
I will come over. Yes. Cause I enjoy that part as much as anything, but I was like, dude, just don't give up. And he did, but like 6 months ago, he puts on Facebook, he got accepted into Sick Week.
Oh, sick.
Hasn't touched the car. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And like, so I follow the journey. They like completely fixed this wreck car back together, and we're at South Georgia, and like made a great first lap, and they're off to the races, I guess, but like super cool. So I wanted to
shout out to Alan, man. That's a cool dude. I think that's a great that speaks volumes to the sport. Somebody get you back going after so long, and being able to do that. That's really cool. I love that, man. So yeah, Sick Week, if you're watching that, let us know. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna hit this stop stream button, and I'm gonna see if I can hit the Hey man, we got a mind of our own. Hey man, we got a mind of our own. All right, I'm gonna start streaming again. It still says we're no dice. All right, I apologize, YouTube watchers. We'll get it posted.
This one's not even our fault.
This one is just YouTube's got a mind of its own, and I'm not 100% sure why they do. It's not my CP. I mean, either way, I'll work on it. I apologize. So before we go into the next segment, I just wanted to test that out. So if you're watching on YouTube again, I apologize. We're working on it, and I'll figure out why it did that. I'll read some stuff, and we'll get it fixed for next week.
Odd question.
Yeah.
Odd question.
Shoot it.
Didn't Chris Simmons did our photos in Michigan, right? Like when Alex didn't do Michigan.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Oh, since you were taking your time with your little YouTube fix in there, you guys did this. They spelled TB Promotions wrong on the picture, Chris. What are you doing, Chris?
I love that we just got that.
Hold on. You guys see this.
If you're watching, this is incredible. I can't believe he just happened to look at a picture and they have spelled. Oh no, I can't. Oh, that was the team one. Okay, the team pick. Yeah, Chris.
Oh yeah,
Chris, bro.
great pick. Great pick.
I'll give him this though. It was like 1:30 in the morning. He decides to send those. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to do all that.
I'm sorry. You were working on YouTube, and I looked to my right.
That's incredible that you. I can't believe you caught that. It's incredible. Shout out to Chris Simmons, photography man, does a great job, but can't spell obviously.
Chris is great.
All right, well, we're gonna talk a little segment here first. We didn't talk about this last week, and I know we really wanted to. So one of the things is IHRA. Obviously, my thing about the internet, and everybody's got an opinion, and they comment on it. It does obviously drive engagement. It gets more views, and it does. In the end, no publicity is bad publicity, is what they say, right? IHRA, though, man, really turned this ship around pretty quickly. They've brought in Rich Schaefer. They've brought in Alan Reinhart. They've got a new CFO or CEO. I forget what they gave the first guy title. I don't know that guy. What do you think, man? Just what's your – obviously, we had a different conversation before. Now it's a little different. It looks a little different. But what are your thoughts on IHRA right now? Because you guys, let me preface this with the Bohannons were an IHRA family at the beginning,
yes.
Right? Running modified, all that stuff. You guys were very into the IHRA.
We were deep off the deep end, worse then than we are now. But so I'm gonna start from the beginning. If I wanted to sell the IHRA for the most amount of money possible,
yeah.
Calling Kenny Nolan is probably the best idea I've ever heard of in my life.
Sure.
The guy, whether you want to believe it or not, is amazing for the sport of drag racing as long as nobody hears a racer talk about it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a racer.
Promote. Yeah.
I feel the same way. Once again, I didn't race with him. I don't know. But, like, look how much shit he stirred up in, like, a month's time,
Yeah.
And what he made happen, like, he found that guy, right? Like, he found that guy and got him to buy the IHRA.
Yeah.
And, he's amazing for the sport. He just, there's something there that none of us know, or I don't know, that obviously doesn't work well.
Sure.
But like what he does as far as bringing attention to the sport is amazing. However, from there, Rich Schaefer, badass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to race with Rich that much when he was with D2.
Sure.
It was just, I was early on in my career.
Yeah. Right.
But I did like know, and I was around him enough and, talked to him enough that I think he is incredible and has incredible potential.
Yep.
To really do something there.
Sure.
Alan Reinhart, I don't really know what to think. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's. I don't think Alan ever needed the NHRA job.
Sure.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know anybody that like he was an NHRA employee. He was not, Fox or whatever.
Right.
And like to my knowledge, none of those guys really get great. They're not out here making any kind of money at all.
Sure.
To be honest with you.
Sure.
Like the tech guys the tech guys or pretty much anybody that shows up to work a race is minimum wage. So, other than the top 10.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
So like that's why I don't think he ever needed it to begin with. So I don't know if this like I think he's good at this. I think he can do it very well. But I don't know if this wasn't just him like, they don't like me, because they've been trying to push him out.
Sure.
That's the the rumors have made it all the way down to Sportsman that like I think they were trying to push him out. So
right.
This might have been just him saying, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, look, man, I think agreed with the first part, right? Kenny Nolan. I never raced ADRL. I never had Go Fast card, never cared for it, whatever, but I did know that he put people in stands and figured it out. Obviously owes people money, and I get that everybody's still upset about it. And it wasn't the right situation there, but he did get it sold, and so whatever that situation was with Jeffers and all them, and they figured it out, that part's over with now. So I think the one thing is that people get upset about, it's like, oh, they're trying to make all these big announcements and it's never anything, and why haven't they fixed this, and why can't I renew my license? It's like, damn, all you're gonna do is get on here, complain about having to give them money. You get to keep that $130 for another month, brother. So for me, I just think people got to understand what it takes. Look, everybody that comments on those posts have never run a race, have never worked at a racetrack, and they might have been down a racetrack once or twice with their street car, or they might acted like and I get that they've supported their facilities and they've supported IHRA, and I get it. But it's hard to do this shit. These people all act like they run their own business and they get it, and they just don't. And I understand that the internet has given everybody a voice. Look, it's given me a voice to sit here and talk on the internet. I get it. But I'm also not out there every day commenting on people's stuff that I don't like. Like, just ignore it, brother. Let it play out.
Yes. Yeah,
you know,
the one thing that, like, I don't think people understand. Well, no, people understand it. They just, I was fortunate enough that I took a job selling cars before, you know, that was my first job when I quit college after 2 months. People, like, it was buy here, pay. People who came to me needed, like, I was their last resort, right? Like, you know,
can't get a car loan somewhere else, right?
Yeah, don't matter what you give me, but like they had to have it. You know, it was a necessity.
Yep.
Race promoting, you know, NHRA, IHRA, me, Flings, PDRA, West Buck.
Yeah.
These people don't need that shit. As a matter of fact, they need everything but that, but they want to do it. They love it. So you have to make them stay in love, you know, and that's not easy either to do.
People still bitching all the time. That's my biggest thing is like, and I think just not enough people understand that they don't have to take their fight with a racetrack to the internet. Like, they think they do. They're like, I'm going to get people on my, the biggest thing is so that they want to feel vindicated. They want to feel validated by their opinion, how shitty it is or not. They want to feel validated by their opinion. And that's fine. Like I said, do your thing, do you. I just don't think you get any value out of it constantly doing it. And it is what it is. Like I said, my whole hope, though, is that IHRA has put people in charge. Rich obviously loves this sport. And
so does Alan.
Yeah, and so does Alan. And that's the thing is I think they can try to do something a little different and understand that, like, class racing and sportsman racing is still alive and well, right? I mean, we go to these races. There's still hundreds and hundreds of cars at all these events, dog. So, like, it ain't dead.
Yeah.
And giving us another place to race is an opportunity for that. And even if they do bracket racing or they just support these tracks, like, I would love for one of these racetracks to try and pay for insurance themselves for one of these. I'm telling you, you can't do it. You can't afford it. The insurance that they have that they support you with. Look at Summit, man. Summit's been an IHRA supporter forever. Like, you don't have that support without that. WDRA is doing a really great job of getting a lot of racetracks, and I'm interested to see what their theory is, or not theory, but their vision of what WDRA is in the future. So we'll see what happens, man. I think I don't know. That was kind of my feedback on IHRA. I'm excited to see where it goes because I used to run divisionals before they ended, you know?
Well, and that's the thing is, like, my family had already went in HRA racing by the time that I got anywhere near driving a race car.
Yep.
And I actually attended the last year that Pro-Ams were a thing. I went to Immokalee, I went to West Palm, and I went to Darlington. But I don't know if they have another last chance.
Sure.
Like, I don't like.
Yeah, they might not have that. That might be it too.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
But they can't listen. WDRA. I mean, they might exist.
Right.
But you can't have a sanctioning body that lives in a $5,000 to win bracket race world. Like, you know as well as I do.
Yeah.
That, I mean, if a $5,000 is within an hour of my house, I'm gone.
Yeah. There's a $5,000 every weekend here at Music City, so I'm used to it. Yeah.
So now you take that into effect.
Yeah.
If you give me 2 $5,000 on a weekend, which is every weekend,
yep,
I'm going to go to the one that doesn't have IHRA on top of it.
Sure.
But if you give me a national event, I don't give a shit if it's AHRA, whatever. Like, if you're going to give me a big tall man and put me on a TV, make me think I'm on TV.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's how I am.
Yeah.
With that stuff. We would all go to it. So, like, but bracket racers, if they see a sanctioning body at the top, they're going to the other one. So, like, WDRA is not going to live in that world forever.
Yep.
And IHRA is just trying to get back out of it.
Yep.
You know, and that's like racetracks can live on $5,000.
Yeah.
You know, promoters can live on $5,000, but a sanction, ain't nobody want to deal with a sanction body run for $5,000.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably a little different animal.
Yeah. And a national, like I know as I say that a national event pays $1,000, or well, you're gonna get it. My last two, I got 7,500 a piece. But
yeah,
like even say you get $2,000, it's a different animal. That's why they.
Well, you're talking about different. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with IHRA. Obviously, I think it's an interesting topic, and like I said, I wish we could let the YouTube chat bleachers work, but unfortunately, YouTube's just not having it for me today. So I apologize. All right, last other headline: the practice tree, man. The Larice Motorsports Insurance Derby City 5K practice tree race took place this weekend. Josh Decker came in. He beat me like a real asshole. Then he won no box right after that. Then he won the whole event, cleaned up. Nicole Medicis was the last woman standing. You guys gave away a bunch of entries for the weekends. All in all, we did it at a new event place, the Haycraft, which was really cool in E-Town, really neat venue. The food was great. And I think Jeb is probably happy that it's over. Poor Jeb.
Oh, yeah. he was over it.
Yeah, poor Jeb having a tough go of it. But overall, I had a really great time. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think everybody seemed to enjoy it for the most part. I only had to yell at a few people about cleaning up the trash at their table. So it was pretty good otherwise. But Josh Decker, man, cleaned up. What were your thoughts on the weekend, man? Did you have a good time? Or obviously, we talked about last week where you just kind of hate the practice tree race. But what were your thoughts after the weekend?
Well, you look at Jeb at the end of it, and that's how I normally look. But since Jeb was there, I didn't look that way.
Seeing Jeb trying to catch. So we talked about this because 2 trees, right? So the Richardsons have 2 trees, and TB Promotions have 2 trees. So it's a lot going on when people are drinking.
Oh, yeah.
They're not paying attention, and then a lot of people's names sound alike. I swear he called TJ Jordan. I thought he called PJ North like 37 times. So I was like, shit, I am not prepared for this. So there's a lot
you
going
want
on.
help, right? Like, the other thing, too, that I've noticed is like me and Brian have both done this, where it's like, okay, we know that this is a struggle.
Yep.
So we're going to go up there to start. We're going to help.
Yeah.
Well, Brian did it one year, and he helped.
Yeah.
And it was rocking for like an hour.
Yep.
Well, then when he left,
oh, what happened? Why does it stop working?
Yeah. Right. And so I tried to like play the middle up there, like just sit there if Jeb needed me.
Yep.
But he kept looking at me because, like, you know, you're in that help me stage, and this is 3 pair in, and I'm like, well, actually hold up, we're 3 pair in, but we have not staged 2 guys yet. We've just called 3 pair, and he's like, you know, he's going like this, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I said something, now he's confused, and you got Pointer announcing, and I said, Jeb, I'm gonna give you the best advice I can, which is you and Pointer figure out what makes you both happy, and that's like, if I stay here and make that happen, when I leave, you're done.
Yeah,
like,
it's not gonna help. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And once they get rolling, like, it gets a lot better. And this was the first year for Pointer too, so you know.
Yeah, Pointer's really never done it either. So that's a
Pointer thing. Like, listen, Pointer, I hope you're listening. You cannot be easy to work with at this deal, okay? There's no way, because you're gonna just ramble, which is fantastic. Keep doing it. But for
I'm surprised you didn't start trying to announce reaction times.
Yeah, like Jeb's gonna lose his mind out there, but okay. It just and then like since it's a practice tree race, we're all having a good time. Like, you know,
shout out to Chase Mead
start
too.
drinking at 2 p.m.
Yeah, shout out to Chase Mead.
Chase is in the middle, right?
Yeah,
like,
pro pairings, man. If y'all haven't used that,
you know,
shout out to Chase Mead. That was cool. That makes it easy. Obviously, like I said, download the app. That's why I just made that announcement to help. Like, hey, we have plenty of service here. My phone works. I know your phone works. Hit that download an app, then you know who's coming up. So,
dude, pro pairings was the best thing ever for slot cars.
Oh yeah,
me and JP, like, so, you know, the races where they like stop at midnight.
Yeah, and
we go to the casino or the bar or whatever me and JP decide to do. You know, go shopping at Target. Who knows? But we can know that night. Oh, but we're pair 87. That means we got at least an hour and 10 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, you're good. You know what it's taking per pair. That's great.
Yeah. So like, well, you know, and that's degenerate, but that's a cool feature.
Yeah, I get it. That worked out good. Yeah, I thought it was good. like I said, hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Shout out to all the sponsors that made it happen too. We gave away a ton of stuff. Jegs, Maxima, Dialed In Details, a couple entries. Abruzzi gave away some stuff. Two Girls Garage gave away some stuff. I think they actually sponsored the Last Woman Standing.
Shout out to Nick Abruzzi. He brought me a converter, and how good is Abruzzi service?
Is that good? Door to door?
He took my truck keys for me.
Yeah.
He went out to the parking lot.
He even swapped it out. Oh my gosh.
Locked my truck back, brought me my keys.
What a guy. Yeah, he gets it. So yeah, man, if y'all haven't done a practice tree race with TB and them, it's a good time. And I know the Richardson boys, they've got theirs next week. If you've ever not been to a practice tree race and you are listening, you got to try one just to see. Casey, she's like, don't sign me up. Tyler, come get that MFer. That's funny. Shout out to Grimes and Fathead Promotion. We apologize again. We know the feed is not great, so thank you guys. Yeah,
no. Fun fact. I don't know how many people are watching, but the Fathead Promotions, Tyler, come get me.
Yeah.
I just turned my phone around because I keep it away from me now.
Yeah.
So
you're not lollygagging on it?
He's broke down in Ohio, and his handler is texting me.
Oh, no.
Where he's at. Yeah.
Oh, no.
You're fine, Rob. I'll be there sometime tomorrow. You'll be fine.
That's incredible. All right. Well, that was the last headline. We're going to do a fun segment because I am recording again. And so for those, if you're not watching it live, you're checking out the feed. But it is the comp combo of the week. It's the first one. We got a lot of messages last week about comp combos. Shout out to Aaron Allison. He sent the first one. All right. What is your random comp combo of the week?
All right. I'm not going off the wall here. I'm just going with what's been in my head for like a month that I really want to do.
Okay.
I want to drive a B altered. It's a pro stock car.
Okay. B altered. And what's that combination? What's a good B altered setup?
It's a pro stock car. It's a 400.
So it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Is it a 500 cubic inch deal, or is it like
basically? Yeah, like it's still like comp. So it's pounds per cubic inch.
Okay,
yeah, I think like JT did it with an automatic last year or 2 years ago or whatever, and he was running like 470 inch motors. But yeah, it's a 500-ish.
Is that the BAA one? When it's BAA?
Yeah, that's B altered automatic.
Okay, is that the same one that Scotty drove? Did Scotty drive one of those? Was he in the B altered car?
Scotty drove a lot of different. Well, not a lot of different comp cars, but he did the street roadster thing for Vinny.
Yeah,
and then the one that he had last.
Yeah,
well,
Barone
is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
the one that he crashed for Vinny. That thing was a Diacono altered. Okay. So basically, they took the 6-cylinder that they had ran in the street roadster, put it in a. Who built that thing? I think that might have been a Bickle car.
Yeah.
But a pro stock Cavalier with a 6-cylinder in it, and it was stupid.
All right, so B altered automatic is the combo of the week. The pro.
I'll do it with 5. I want the 5-speed. I'm doing it without the last A.
Oh, so just BA, straight up B altered.
That's what I want. I want to. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, man. If Bruno could make that happen, Bruno Mazel, get my guy in a pro stocker. He wants to try B altered.
Yeah, I don't want to run the pro stock. Just put BA on it. Send me out there with the sportsman guys. I'm good.
Shout out to Walt Walker. He wants the BBA T. What's the T? The twin.
So that's
turbo 2 JZ.
In theory, that's the cool part about the.
Oh, we lost Tyler. Man, we're losing all types of service right now. What happened?
Did you get me back?
Yep, you're back. Sorry.
I never lost you. That was wild. I heard you say you lost me and everything.
I don't know. It may be my internet. I apologize, everyone. That's my fault, dude.
No, I don't think it's that, because like I can see it from my screen too, that it's showing like.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
So that's the cool part is you can go through and they give you everything that's allowed in the class, right? So you can go through and pick.
Oh, and you can pick, and then it's weight per cubic inch per.
Right. It's like you're, if you want to run GT with your Chevelle, being able to pick anything. Yeah. It's like building a race car from scratch. I can pick anything I want, and you can go through like find this thing.
Sure.
In theory, actually, Andrew Hill, guru of everything, has mentioned that combo to me as something that would be crazy.
Sick. Well, I can't wait to talk about comp combos all year long. We're gonna get a different one each week. He's going to give us some insight. So, all right, this is our last topic of the night here. It's a hot topic, and I think that this is something that me and you have talked about at length, but we'll finish on this note, is class racing versus bracket racing costs. I think everybody gets caught up and this is kind of how me and you conversated about this, like where that conversation started, is everyone's always like, oh, it's so expensive to run super stock and it's so expensive to run stock. And man, look, I see a lot of y'all 2003 undercovers for $50,000. So don't tell me that this shit's the same, like not expensive. I don't want to hear that shit. So that's how this conversation came about. And Tyler, I know you're very passionate about this, and I am too, because like I said, when I started in stock, I traded a Firebird, a 94 Firebird, and I traded it in Texas. I drove to Dallas. I was working night shift. I'll never forget this. And I was like, all I want to do is run stock. A friend of mine talked me into it, and I was like, all right, I'm in. So I found this Cutlass in Texas, and he didn't want to run class anymore. And I'm like, sick. It's got IHRA motor in it. I'm gonna do it.
SPTB.
It's just the fastest one in the country. Ask about me. So I go down there to get it, and I'm like ate up with this at this point. But at that time, I mean, this stalker's maybe worth 13, 14 grand, I think is what we ended up doing a trade. Now, this is 13 years ago, basically, more or less. And I'm like, you don't think about it. At that time, I was like, I can't build a bracket car for that, right? I'm trying to get in the class. And then as I continue to move up, right, then I buy a super stalker, and we figure that out, and I make it happen. I still am in a feasible rate where it's like, I think it was still cheaper than my dragster was to build.
Yep.
So like,
and you had they gave you the chassis. Remember that?
Right.
So didn't you end up with that?
Yeah,
like
I did. I won it. I won.
Whatever it was.
I did that one, that race deck.
Don't forget that part. But like, and this is the reason, I mean, I sent you this topic as something that I wanted to talk about. Does it make more sense to race? No. Okay.
Well, that's not the question. It's not about whether or not you can win more.
You take a guy like Corey Galletti.
Yep.
Okay. So you've got those guys.
Yep.
There is, unless like their best year is why they bracket race, right?
Sure,
like,
sure.
We're all gamblers. We're going to get back there.
Yeah. This is legal gambling. For those of you who are watching who have never been to this is legalized gambling. So it's just skilled gambling.
Yeah, exactly. And so the part for me is like, I'm cool with that. I'm the same way, dog.
Sure.
Hey, no hate.
Yeah.
But don't come and tell me that it still costs way too much money to go stock, super stock, or whatever racing. Corey doesn't say that, actually. I just used him as the example.
Sorry, Corey.
Yeah. Corey actually likes it, says it's cool. So just wanted to get that out there. But and then tell me that you don't race for no money. Okay.
Right.
So just how you said you got into stock. I paid way too much money for my stalker. And
sure.
It still didn't cost as much as the used dragsters that I bought.
Yeah.
And this is insane to think about. Okay. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay. 320s.
Right.
It costs $2,000, not the tab, but overall, like if I go to 320 granders, it's going to cost me $1,500 in entry fees and buybacks or, crew pack, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my tab's going to be $1,500.
Yep.
And, fuel bills, no matter where you're going or what you're doing, it's the same.
Yep.
And the car I'm in order to have a chance to win, like I have the best of everything in my head.
Yep.
And because you have to have that in that racing. And you have a percentage, your chance to win is astronomically lower.
Yeah. Okay?
Don't care how good you are.
Right.
All it matters is how many times you're there.
Shooting against 250 people, 300 people versus 65, 75. I mean,
I could build, listen, a double A stock automatic Firebird, not the best combination in the world, but for 25 grand, you can go 10-10 in stock eliminator.
Right.
Promise you.
Yeah.
Okay. They're out there. And so you can buy that $25,000 fast, in theory, car, competitive car, very competitive car.
Yep.
Go race against anywhere from 40 to 100 other guys.
Yep.
That are nowhere near, not because of their talent. Most of them is talent.
We're talking about 1,320 feet long. Yeah, we're talking about another 660.
So you're going double the distance, so your cars can't be as good. The rules don't allow the cars to be as good. And let's just be honest, these guys do it because they love the cars, and they have never thought once about making money drag racing.
Right.
The majority.
Right.
But like I showed up, I paid $180. Okay. Pays, I don't even know, $1,500 to win.
Yeah.
contingency and stuff. If I win a divisional, it's $3,500.
Sure.
I paid $180 to get in the gate. I got 10 gallons of fuel, got me through the weekend. I had to beat 50 other guys to win.
Yep.
So 6.
Yep.
And my car cost a third of what my dragster does. It's sitting at home. And when I freshen them, my stocker is still a third of the price to freshen. The tires are a third of the price.
Yep.
The fuel's a third of the price. The freshen, like,
Sure.
just, I'm tired of hearing that it's too much money to get into it for not enough. You've lost your fucking mind, okay? It ain't that way.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's guys, you know, the guys who just do, you know, that actually treat this as a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, that build a $25,000 bracket car or a $25,000 stocker.
Yeah.
They're getting more bang for their buck to go single at every bracket, you know, bracket racing.
Yeah.
100%. Okay. But I don't hear that from those guys. Okay. I hear it from the guys.
That's exactly it, man. These guys that spend,
like,
that have a toter home with 2 dragsters
and win
quad
and
entered. Yeah. I get it. Look, man, that's my thing is like, everybody, I get that, like, oh, well, they're winning, and I get that, and it's, oh, they cracked them for $50K, right? Cool, but like, look at what they spent to win that 50. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I'm not discounting that part of it. All I'm saying is you can't tell me that it costs more to do. Look, outside of a B&B Cobalt, it doesn't. It just doesn't cost as much. It's not more expensive. Like, I understand. Yes, it does cost more to run modified. Been there, done it. Okay, it does cost more to go. You know what I'm saying? So like, it does cost money, but in relativity to each other, I agree, man. I just think like that's an age old, that argument's way out the window now.
If I call B&B right now and order a Cobalt turnkey, and I'm going to run GTH automatic, and I'm going to call Jeff Taylor and get my motor, and I'm going to call Lamb and get my brakes.
Yep.
Mark Williams and get all my shit. Yep. And I'm going to get, you know, the baddest thing you can build. Okay.
Sure.
Now, you know, get some deals here and there, but it ain't no different than the deals I would get building a brand new dragster.
Sure.
I can call Ray Miller or Travis Colangelo or anybody you want to. It's going to cost more, guys. You don't want to believe it? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
By the time you have Jerron or Todd or whoever, right?
Yep.
But like, if you don't have them do it, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, I get it.
So, and you got to build a Hoss-ass motor that runs 440, which, by the way, I've seen what y'all are paying for these 440 motors.
Yikes.
My dad, my grandfather, my fucking ancestors ain't never paid that much for a super stock motor.
Yeah.
So like, I'm passionate about this topic, but I just think it's
100% true, dude. And look, man, and shout out to Walt. Walt, that's a great point. I think the other thing that plays into it's not necessarily about what you win or what you take home, but like the other piece is like you're making 10 laps a weekend. And I understand that a lot of guys want to make a lot of laps, right? And I am that same way, man. I bracket race and class race too, so I get it. But I'm making 10 laps a weekend to win maybe whatever. But you know what I don't ever have to do? Ain't never had to have that conversation about a split.
Right.
I'll take that all day long too. So I agree the cost thing, and it's not about cost versus investment or anything like that, because I do agree, obviously, if you can build a $30,000 dragster, maybe a $40,000 dragster, and you can keep it together and you can win money, obviously, yes, that works, right? But there's also only one Bill Gates who made Microsoft, so there's not 250 of those cars laying around for $40K where you can go out and do all that for that cheap. It just isn't reasonable. No,
and those guys have to make 700 runs a year,
right?
To in theory make money. Well, in 700 runs, dog, they've spent $15,000 in freshen ups. If it ain't broke a rocker arm,
sure.
They've spent 700 runs, $7,000 in tires.
Yep.
They've spent $7,000 in race fuel. Okay.
Yeah.
So just wear and tear and normal shit you use going racing. They've now spent $25,000 extra, $20 to $25,000.
I agree. Look, man, me and you. Here's the real question though for everyone: is Matt Daddis doing it better than everybody? Because he's figured out, I'm going to take the best of both worlds. I'm going to buy every single super stocker that exists out there that nobody has, and I'm going to turn them into a bracket car. Because in reality, they're better built cars than most bracket cars, right? And to a certain extent, when it comes to like a door car perspective, right?
I would, because 30 years ago when super stock did cost 100 times more to race,
sure.
Like obviously your guys in super stock were those guys. Like most of them didn't know how to build a car.
Sure.
So you either had guys who were 100 times more intelligent than everybody else, or guys who had 100 times more money and just paid those intelligent people to do it for them.
Sure.
So like the cars, listen, I think you can make anything go down a dirt road these days.
Yeah.
But like all of those, I think those cars are the reason that like the door car side of big money bracket racing, the super stock cars that have been brought in from Matt or whoever, like I think they changed the back half door car guys in bracket racing.
Yeah. Well, it definitely made you work a lot. I mean, look, I got in a 570 door car was my first car. So, you know, big car. So like, I get it, 4-link deal, that whole thing. And like I said, I think it just goes a lot to show. But the point being to this whole argument is that if you really dial it down, it's not more expensive to run stock, super stock anymore than the bracket racing stuff, because I think
it's half the price.
Yeah. So if you've got a super stocker and stocker you want to sell, by God, we can help you out. You call us, we can help you out. Now, if you've got an overpriced 2004 dragster, don't call me because I can't help you there.
Well, don't call me either way because I'm going to want to buy it, and I can't afford it. I don't need it. I ain't got room for it.
Tyler, how many cars have I sent you this week? It's only Tuesday. How many cars have I sent you this week for us to buy?
Probably 6, and I've probably messaged 4 of them. I have a problem.
I love it. Well, man, again, this has been a trial and error episode. I apologize for those watching live. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, hopefully it's the whole episode. I'm not 100% sure what's going to come out of this, but thank you guys so much for listening to episode 2 here. Next week on the docket, man, we are headed to Bradenton for the PRO shootout in Super Stock.
And there will be a show.
There will be a show. We are also very excited that we are going to interview our first interviewees, so we'll be able to see that episode probably in the following weeks. Coming very soon, we'll have that interview of our first group of folks that we're going to talk to down in Bradenton, so we're excited to bring you those guys. Yeah, man, exciting. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
No, just, you know, I really appreciate everybody checking in, and too, like, keep working with me on this audio thing, the YouTube thing.
We're gonna figure it out. I don't know what it is about my internet today, but it has just had a mind of its own, and it's not